And here we were, the very epicenter of the ancient Roman Empire. The sights, the sounds, the scooters, the pizza, the Prada, the pasta, the cappuccino, the vino, the mafia, and of course Mario. It's beautiful architecture, it's beautiful history, it's beautiful women, and it's beautiful men. We had arrived at our destination, Roma, Italy, for the Red Bull Music Academy. What began in Berlin in 1998 has now grown year after year into this exciting platform where musical greats tell it like it is and share a story or so with the next generation of future music pioneers. This year, 3 Kiwis donned their Italian phrase books and set off for Rome. Open Soul's drummer Julian Dine, Auckland-based radio and club DJ Amy Bassett, and this guy.
Kia ora, my name's Andy Morton, also known as the Submariner. Can I be a producer?
You can be whatever you want, bro. You can be a fireman.
Okay. Yeah, I'm a superhero. No. I'm a producer, a bit of a DJ, and I'm in Roma. Prego. I've sort of been interested in music ever since I was a little kid. You know, I was always sort of one of those kids that pick up something, start making some noise. My mum was really supportive. You know, we used to go to the music shop and she'd drop me off and just sit outside and read her book while I'd go and play with these things. She just knew that I was really into it, so it's always been an option. I used to sit and draw how I would make my room into a recording studio.
Andy's had his hand in many local productions over the years, including work with Shay Fu, Dimmer, Mark de Clive Lowe, King PC, and in recent times his work with Kaz, aka The Feel Style.
That's something I'm really excited about, sort of really, because we chose to do it on our own, we've really done it exactly how we wanted to do it. We've sort of put together something that is exactly as we wanted to do it, you know, and now it's finally finished. It took us about 3 years to sort of put it all together, so I'm pretty excited about that. Kaz, The Feel Style, writes his rhymes for Samoan. And that's really what sets him apart from everybody else, apart from the fact that he's just tight, you know, he's bad. First video was shot in Samoa and it was crazy, you know, people were just freaking out. Just the fact that someone was rhyming in their language, you know, for them, this was a song for them. It was a really amazing experience. It was more than a music video, it was, you know, it was a journey home for Kaz.
The album is called Break It to Pieces.
This is the first time for a long time that a New Zealand hip-hop artist has put out a vinyl copy of the actual whole album. You know, everyone can make a CD at home now and print out a cover and put it in. I wanted to have a vinyl, you know, to make it real, make it really something. When you make a vinyl, there's a bit of a process involved. It's cut on what is called an acetate, which is the first version, and it's called an acetate. It's like a soft wax. And then they will take that, they'll make a stamper, and then they'll make an actual test pressing. I've sent back the test pressings twice because I'm like that. I'm a fussy guy. Just give me a good listen and see if there's any flaws or imperfections. I think this one's going to be the one, so I think I'll be giving it the thumbs up. But have to give it a listen for maybe an hour and a half, just go over every track, just double check everything, make sure there's no problemos. Prego.
Everywhere. Get your arms off, enough stalling. Look at me, I can hear your frustration calling. Throwing more punches and clear the path for me.
Oh yes. Yeah, it's funny there's some Feel Style stickers sort of around the academy. It's weird, man.
Every day for 2 terms of 2 weeks, 30 participants from all over the world listen, share and learn from the music industry's finest. Everything from production workshops to running an independent label to the history of the music. It's all here. And there were some incredible guests this year, including legendary drummer Bernard Purdie, disco boogie great Leroy Burgess, reggae don Dennis Bovol, and this guy here, UK hip-hop sensation Ty.
One thing that really hit home during Ty's lecture was the fact that he talked about how being, you know, an African American living in England, eating Indian and Chinese, you know, he really became aware of that, and that kind of helped form himself musically. I really related to that because I've just become really involved in my culture after being brought up with not a lot of it around. And my mother's Māori, she's Tūhoi. Tēnā koutou katoa ko Amy Takawingwa no Tamaki Makaurau Aotearoa. Some of the most amazing musical experiences I've had have been on the marae, where, you know, there's like quite intense kind of stuff going on, and then someone busts out with a haka or something like that, and it just moves you, and trying to have, you know, like having an experience like that and trying to relate it and kind of incorporate it into being a DJ and playing records, or, you know, just being aware of it and aware of its influences. It's a beautiful thing.
When Ty was talking about coming up in London and always feeling like you're second best to the Americans, whatever. You know, he started off with the American accent, just like a lot of the MCs in New Zealand, you know, sort of might have a bit of American accent. And he's just talking about that whole sort of thing of just trying to do some soul searching, go inside yourself, and, you know, believe in what you're doing and that you were put in the place that you were put in for a reason, you know. So instead of trying to disguise it, you know, you should actually, you know, sort of discover more about that.
After the lecture, I went up and had a chat with Ty and gave him a copy of the Feel Style album, see what he thought.
This one is for the girls, then.
Yesterday we had a lecture with Tony Dorsey, who works at Masterdisc in New York.
He's done from things like DJ Premier, KRS-One, you know, your Jay-Z's and your Beyoncé's.
Mastering is one of those sort of unknown arts, you know, it's a mystical art in the sort of recording industry. It's good to be able to go straight to the source and just say, hey, you know, I've just been thinking about this one little thing for a long time. I've always wanted to know, you know, from someone like yourself with, you know, 20, 30 years of experience in the business, you know, how would you approach that? And, you know, just straight away, it was pretty cool.
It was a lot of fun, you know. It's just nice to feel off of people and the energy they have wanting to know, the knowledge and everything else that I bring to the table. Here you have people from all over the world coming together for a couple of weeks and putting egos aside and making good music and having fun while they're doing it. And these people that are here are tomorrow's engineers, producers, artists, and everything else. I think it's a wonderful thing they got going.
Enter the man with the biggest smile at the Academy, the all-singing, all-swinging Leroy Burgess, disco pioneer and the man credited as starting the sound known as Boogie in the early 80s.
But you got to get loose.
I think he's just kind of like tipped everyone upside down a little bit. He feels people and he kind of makes you feel him, and that kind of sounds cheesy in itself, but he was going nuts, and in one hand I was like wanting to get up and dance, but in the other hand I was absolutely floored as well. Rather than talking about technology and music, just kind of, you know, the family of man and brotherhood and getting real with people, and that was amazing.
So all up Leroy Burgess gets a big cheer.
Oh, cheer, bro. A double 2 snaps up.